new session. So from where we left, if you have any questions, let me know. All right, fair enough. I don't see any questions, so I think you are good. So in the last session, we have seen the primitive data types supported in Java, all right, and then we have seen the operators which are supported in Java, all right, and we saw an example on the arithmetic operators and as such, and we have seen the Hello World program. We started the first application, uh, and then we also have seen the steps involved for getting started writing a Java application and compiling it and running it. We have seen that. Then we discuss about the Java platform, what is Java API, what is Java virtual machine. We have discussed in detail about Java virtual machine responsibilities as well. All right. Uh, Java API is the Java runtime classes provided by Java, which has a lot of functionalities which is pre-built for us. It is ready to use. It has been created for us to use, and it has been given as part of the libraries. Right. So this is very helpful. So the understanding Java programming language syntax and semantics and rules will be pretty easy. It will not be a difficult job, which might take few sessions, but the actual part which is expected from us is understanding the APIs. So that is all the more important, and that is where we will spend most of our time. API in the sense what classes are available for you to use, and what functionalities you can implement in your applications using the existing functionalities, what you can add new functionalities to your application. All right. So Java has different types of APIs. All right. Different types of APIs are available using which you can create different types of application. To summarize, I can give you some APIs which we will discuss uh, in our discussions as well. So, firstly, APIs for working with collections. You have APIs for working with threads, API for working with networking and sockets, for creating files and streams, right? And likewise, you have stuff in Java Standard Edition. Then you go to Java Enterprise Edition. Sometimes go to EE or Java EE. Then you move to a line. Here example combine. All right, it was Ravi's line, I think. Ravi, I have muted you. Don't mind. So the API for Java EE will have servlets, JSPs, EJBs, etc. So that's what I wanted to show you. I mean, the scope in which you will spend your time learning, because we have a lot of APIs what you can learn across in your career, and that is where you will spend your most of the time learning. All right. And then we discuss about the Java virtual machine in detail, the responsibilities of virtual machine, what features are available as part of it, and all. And then we will have to continue from here the control statements in Java. All right. So one is if statement, then if else, then switch. We will discuss these three statements as part of today's discussion. All right. So let me take a notepad. All right. So the first example what we will see is if else demo. So as we discussed last session that the class syntax in Java, it starts with the keyword class, then the name of the class, and then followed by curly braces. Right? Here I'll take the main method, void main. Right. Here I'll take a variable int a equals to 10, and then we'll see how if condition can be written. If a greater than 0, then I'll say system.out.println a is positive. All right. So let me just save this with the name if else demo. I'll save it in C drive, users, my user, create a new folder, my workspace. Java. Alright, I saved it with the name if else demo, and yes, I need to just open a command prompt and go to my workspace and say Java C if else demo.java. Java C is not recognized as okay. I need to do what, as I told you, set the environment variables. Alright, so done with that. I'll restart the command prompt. Now I have Java C. Alright, so cd my workspace, Java C equals demo. Compiler works fine, it does the compilation. I'll now do the execution, and it says that um, it says A is positive. Alright, so what the code what I have written, here it is.
Hi.
Guys, please mute your lines. So look at this piece of code which I have written, in which I have just one condition if a equals to, if a is greater than 0, uh, the this statement will get executed. If a is not greater than 0, this condition will not get executed, and it displays nothing, right? So if it is greater than 0, this works. Now this is the if condition. If do something, all right? And if you have more than one statement to be executed, if the condition matches, then you will use curly braces. You will use curly braces to separate chunk of code in two blocks. And then lastly about this, you have else condition. Else you can say uh, system.out.println a is negative, all right? So greater than or equal to, I'll say this condition, -1. Compile this, then run this. It says a is negative because I have negative value. So this is how you can use if-else conditions. I have used pretty simple statements, checking condition. If it is greater than or equal to 0, then I say it is positive, else it is negative. All right. If you want to refine it further, I'll say less than 0 is greater than 0, it is positive, else I can have multiple if else, saying uh, else, then I can have if condition, which can separate that statement from the exit older statement. Okay, so this kind of logic can be written in your code to uh, see conditional statements. All right. Then this is about if else. Then there is something called as switch, which is pretty commonly used when we have multiple if else condition. All right. If you have multiple conditions to see, like multiple if else conditions, if you have, um, I say else if I can have these kind of multiple conditions. All right. So in these kind of situations, to avoid writing multiple if else conditions, it is a syntax in Java that Java supports switch statements, and Java provides you that alternative to write your code. So we will have one demo of that as well. I'll say class switch demo. All right, public static void main string. Here as well, I'll take an integer a equals to 1. Then here is the switch statement, switch a. Here it starts a curly brace. Then you can have cases. After you specify switch, you can specify different cases using which it will match different cases. Right. So I have specified switch a, case 1. So I can specify cases like case 1, case 2 and all. Then I'll say do this. If it is matching with case 1, do this. System.out.println uh, 1. All right. Then there is a break statement. If it matches with the first case, then it will break there, and that's where you will come out of the switch statement and method will end. If it doesn't match with the case 1, then next case will be executed. Case 2 system dot out dot print line 2. Alright, then if it matches here, then it should at least break here. Break. Similarly, you can have case 3 which has 3 as the output. Alright, and lastly you have a break statement. Let me save this now. This is write ech demo.java. Alright, let me compile this. Switch demo got compiled, no errors. It has executed statement 1. Now if I provide the integer as 2, it gets executed with the case 2. Right? If I give the integer as 3, then it is giving me output as 3. Alright. If I give some other value like maybe 4, then I don't have a case for it. So if I do that, let me compile and run. I don't get any output because I don't have a case to match with this. So in these kind of scenarios, you can have another case at the end, which is default case. Here you will say system.out.println not matching. Okay, then that's it. So here let me compile, then run. It says not matching, so it doesn't match to any of the existing cases. Now the need of having a break statement for each of these cases is, if a case matches initially, after it encounters the break, the control will come out of the switch and come out of the method as well. But in case where you match the case with maybe first case and you're not having break in between, let's assume you don't have a break, and you save it and you run it, then you will see that it has executed both the case 1 and case 2. So what it means that is the case, even if the case matches and it doesn't find the break statement, it continues with the flow of execution to other cases as well, case 2, case 3, and so on. So that said, you will now understand the need of having a break statement. Break is just used to stop the flow of execution, and it will not let the statement flow from one case to other case. All right, I hope it makes sense. So break is pretty mandatory. Okay, then we will take the statements for iterating over loops for doing something continuously. Give me a second, I'm just getting some. Any questions on if else statements and switch statements?
No, it was clear.
Hang on 1 second, I get those. Oh shit. All right, so let's go through this uh, iterations and loops. Okay, so I'll demonstrate basic loops while demo. Mm, I'll save it with the name while Java. So for having loops, we will take one looping variable int a equals to 0 while. Now here we'll use conditions just like we've used conditional statements earlier. Here also we'll use conditional statements to iterate and do some looping operations. So I'll say while a is uh, uh, less than 10. Okay, now I'll say system.out.println a. Okay, and I'll say a plus plus. So what am I doing? I'm saying while this condition is matching, while a is less than 10, okay, print a, then in the next statement increment a and continue as long as this condition is not false. So this loop will do what? It will print numbers 1 to 9 for me. Java C while demo.java compiled. Alright, there you see. So it has printed these numbers from 0 to 9 because the initial value what I've taken for A is 0. It has started printing the value here and then incrementing it. Alright, so if I want to have this for A less than or equals to 10, then this will differ. It will also print the value 10. So the syntax for loop, while loop is you will have a looping variable. Okay, looping variable. Then you check for condition, and then lastly uh, you increment, and over here you have body of loop. Okay, so every loop will have these four things. You will have a looping variable, you will have uh, body of the loop, and then increment and condition. Okay, yeah, maybe in another few minutes we will end. Shailaja, hang on. uh, I know it's been late, but the class started late, so it's my right to extend it for at least 30 more minutes, but I'll take another 3 more minutes. Don't worry. The next loop what you have is do while loop. In do while, this is kind of similar, but the only difference is you will have while written at the end, whereas do written before the loop starts. It means simply that do this while checking this condition. So condition check comes at the end of the loop in case of do while. Let me save this. I'll say do while.java, save it, saved, compiled. Let me run this. It gives you a similar kind of output. All right. So the difference here, the difference what you will encounter is in case of do while, the loop will be executed at least once, even if the condition is not matching. Okay, even if the condition is, for example, I'll make the condition as a is less than 0. So this condition is obviously false, right? Because a is equals to 0 but not less than 0. So if this condition is false, the loop should not execute, right? But in case of do while loop, you will see this behavior that it will execute the loop at least once. Even if this condition was false, the loop executes once, all right, and then it terminates. It terminates because the condition is false. So that is the difference between do while and while loop. All right. Then there is one loop which is for loop. I would have taken it now, but maybe just because it's already late for you, uh, I'll wind up the session here for the day, and you guys can let me know if you have any questions before we end the class.
Yes, sure.
Any questions?
No, we will practice for now, and if there are any questions tomorrow, I will be letting you know.
Yeah, you can ask me questions tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay.
I have already sent the link for you where you can access the recordings. All right. Shailaja, your email was not there in the meeting, go to meeting list. So I couldn't send it yesterday, but I have done it today. I think you can check it now and see if you have not received. Check your Gmail account. I have already sent the recordings. Check it and let me know. I have added Shailaja and let me see what all names I added today. It is shared with Abhishek at the email abhi.chiku88@gmail and sampath.gujari@gmail and Shailaja, it is Shailaja Vaddi@gmail and Ravi I have shared it at ravig@logicbridge.net. Alright. Please confirm if you have received the email where you can access the link. I was told that Ravi did not get the uh, link, so I'll share with Ravi at the other email address as well. So once you get it, you can confirm. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Sure. Welcome.
Uh,
All right then. Have a good day, and I'll
yeah.
see you again
Thank you.
tomorrow.
I will.
I'll see you tomorrow then. Bye.
Sure. Thank you. Good night.